The last video I went over VetTech and what it was about. And so in this video, I want to talk about my experience with VetTech and the coding bootcamp I went to. So this coding bootcamp was supposed to be a 3-month bootcamp, 13 weeks, but I withdrew from the program about six weeks in. I withdrew last week. So to give you an idea about my experience with programming is that I don't have much experience with JavaScript or any programming language. I had found out about coding just about a year ago, and I stumbled upon it from a Facebook ad, and I was just curious about what it was about, and it intrigued me. And ever since then, I started to learn on my own, but it's definitely difficult to self-study because I know the type of person I am. I need to be in a classroom and I need to have an instructor there, and I need to do homework and set assignments, and that's how I learn. So a year ago, I searched a few boot camps, and almost all are over $15,000. And it's a lot of money for only 3 months of school. And I even thought about using my GI Bill since I have about 9 months left. So I contacted the VA and I asked how the GI Bill would work if I did a bootcamp full time. The representative told me that I would be using all 9 months of my benefits for only 3 months of schooling because bootcamp's hours are calculated differently. So I didn't go this route because I would be losing 6 months of benefits, even though the VA will cover the tuition fee. So I waited and I tried to learn on my own. And I found a good website called Watch and Code, and there is a free course and a premium paid course. And the free course is very useful because the person who teaches the course breaks it down step by step, and he has a lot of exercises for you to do. So fast forward to November of last year, I went on Facebook and I found a cybersecurity ad, a school on Facebook, and thought maybe I can find more information on it. So this led me to learn about VetTech, and which is a new program tailored for veterans. And as I read up on it, I got really excited because not only VetTech would pay for a coding bootcamp, they wouldn't touch my GI Bill. My GI Bill would not be touched. And also they would provide BAH. So I decided this would be my chance to go to a coding bootcamp. And but in order for me to utilize a VetTech program, I would have to go to one of the providers here. Oh, I think I have it here. One of these providers I would have to go through in order to qualify for the VetTech and to use the VetTech program. I mean, in the last video I did mention that there is a lot, but most of these are in person. And there's only, I think, a few that are online. Let's see, Code Platoon is online. They are mainly tailored to veterans and their spouses, military and their spouses, which is great. And then there's Sabio and Galvanize. And so I Googled all the schools that I felt like I can go to, and it only made sense for me to attend on campus because the BAH for online and on campus is it can be a big difference in the amount that you're going to get. So I found one that was near where I lived. So most boot camps they teach full stack, which is the front end and the back end. It could be React and JavaScript for the front end and Node for the back end. And in this coding bootcamp that I went to provided free pre-work. So I signed up for the pre-work in November. And initially, they weren't going to have a new cohort until January of this year. But they decided to have a December cohort. And so I hurried up and I applied for my VetTech certificate. And I received it about 2 weeks later. So I finished all my pre-work. And I started my first day at bootcamp on December 2nd of last year. There was only 6 of us initially, and one person dropped a week into the program. The program is very intense. It ran from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Friday, and Saturdays from 9 to 3. Majority of the coding boot camps are like this, but I feel like more hours doesn't really equal to better productivity. But I felt very frustrated most of the time because the assignments that we were assigned were not clear. And there was a lack of support because one of the instructors had to take time off. Essentially, there was only 3 instructors for 3 different cohorts. And to be honest, I was expecting more of some sort of like live lectures so we can get feedback immediately, but that wasn't the case. It was mostly everything was done online and the videos were recorded. And the videos also were not very clear. So the first week I learned about jQuery and the mapping and filter functions. The second week I learned about React, which is a JavaScript library. So learning React is very difficult and I struggled with it. Again, I didn't get much support from the instructors. So 2 days before my winter break, which started December 20th, the main instructor, who is also the CEO of the bootcamp, had a talk with me about just focusing on front end, not to worry about any back end, which included C# and SQL. So during my 2-week break, I tried to learn all that I can about React, and I even had to hire some tutors to help me understand the concepts. And then I went back to school on January 2nd, feeling good about React. So in a week passed by, the same instructor talked to me again about VetTech and how VetTech requires everyone to use the benefit, who uses the benefit to be taught the full stack curriculum, which includes front end and back end. And he did not agree with VetTech. And so in order for me to actually graduate, I would need to pass an assessment for full stack. And I guess he didn't want to teach me and he didn't want me to learn. And he gave me an option of whether for me, in order for me to stay, I would have to pay for the remaining time I was there or withdraw from the program. So I really didn't want to pay for anything because that's why I was utilizing the VetTech benefits. So I withdrew the program last week. I even tried to tell him, I'm willing to learn now, but he opposed and didn't agree with me or the VetTech. And so it's very disappointing and discouraging because I feel like I'm a failure because I didn't get to finish the program with my cohort. But I realized that I can't let this stop me from learning and moving forward. So right now I was able to sign up for a couple classes. I was able to sign up for basic SQL and a C# class at my local college using my GI Bill, which stinks because the whole point of it was to not touch my GI Bill and just use the VetTech program. But this is life. You never can't always expect it to go your way. So right now I just have to keep pushing forward. And so there's this site here called coursereport.com, which you can learn more and compare about different coding bootcamps. And there's so many. And there's actually a lot of bootcamps that do accept the GI Bill if you do consider going that route. Or, like I said, VetTech, if you have at least 1 day of the GI Bill benefit left, you qualify for VetTech. And like I said, it's a great program, VetTech, but just make sure that you do your research on the coding bootcamp. So, next video, I'm going to talk about, I did get into another bootcamp. But that doesn't start until end of March, and it's a part-time program. But I'm not going to use my GI Bill or GI Bill, and I obviously can't use VetTech again until 18 months from the last day of when I withdrew from the course. And this bootcamp, basically, they have a large amount of scholarships. So, and They have an online and on-campus site. So I'll talk more about that next time. So just check out this website and then you can do your research about this.